Me, 25M, with my girlfriend, 24F. I recently met my work partner's wife, and the differences in their personalities is making me jealous about what kind of relationship I could have. I've been with my girlfriend for 6 years, and recently I've been wondering if she is really the one. I didn't doubt that she was until I recently started a new career and got a new partner at work, 29M. He's been married for a year and has been with his wife, 28F, for 7 years. Him and I, spend over 40 hours a week together and have become fairly close. We've been talking about double dating so our SOs can meet, and when I brought it up to my GF, I'll call her Sarah, she was really against the idea. In all honesty, she's been against this new career change in general, even though I make more money and get many more benefits, because she doesn't like the hours, and she says everyone in my profession cheats. When I brought it up, she became very distant and said something along the lines of, don't remember the exact words. Why would I want to spend time with these people and give him my partner? The idea that he's so close to me / can ever know me better than she does. It didn't really make sense, but after talking about it, it seemed like she felt like she was being replaced by my partner because we have to spend so much time together and I only get to see her 2 or 3 times a week with my schedule, her part-time job, and she's going to uni full-time. I assured her that she was my number one, and he was just a cool guy that I'm forced to be with due to circumstances. We didn't talk about it again for a couple weeks. Then a few weeks ago, I was at the bar with my cousin. She was invited, but she doesn't like my cousin because she finds him too boisterous / candid, and I ended up bumping into my work partner and his wife, my first time meeting her. His wife is very unlike my girlfriend, much more extroverted. She immediately got very excited when my partner told her who I was and told me about all the funny stories she heard about me. I was kind of thrown off about how open and friendly she was, since my girlfriend sort of convinced me that her feelings of not wanting to meet / associate with them were normal. And like every girl would feel that way, I guess. I don't know. But his wife immediately launched into how we have to all get together finally. And watching the two of them together was just so opposite of how my girlfriend and I act. They animate each other like a two-person comedy act, and I found myself becoming a bit jealous. I did get a little tipsy and admitted to his wife that my girlfriend was worried about the cheating that people associate with my field, and she sort of laughed and said that people say the same thing to her, but that she trusts my work partner and she just laughs it off when people say things. At work the next day, my partner ended up telling me that my cousin I was with at the bar was talking to his wife and confessed to his wife that he doesn't even like Sarah, news to me, and that the things my cousin told her, he didn't specify, worried her because she was really looking forward to hanging out together and she was now afraid my girlfriend wouldn't like her. I pressed him for more details, but he either didn't know or didn't want to say. That night I mentioned to Sarah casually that I bumped into them, and his wife really wanted to meet her. She didn't like this, and again told me she was too busy and had no interest in pretending to be best friends with people who think they're so close to me. I dropped it because it was late, but it started to get on my nerves how opposite these two women are and react to things. Then, yesterday happened. My work partner and I had a really early meeting in a city about an hour and a half away, and the night prior we weren't getting out of work until 10 p.m. My work partner offered to let me stay at his house because we had to be up at 4:30 a.m. and he lives an hour closer. I was stressing out because I didn't have time to iron a suit, and I called Sarah and asked if she would go to my apartment. We don't live together, but she has a key, and set a suit up for me. It's crucial that we look put together at work, and I knew she wasn't doing anything that night. She got really angry. First that I was staying over at my partner's house, then that I was treating her like a slave. I have never in my life asked her to do anything like this, but I'm still very new in my position and I'm stressed out. She said she had too much work to do and refused. I ran home after work, grabbed my stuff, and drove to my partner's house. I guess I was visibly agitated because his wife asked me what was wrong the minute I arrived, and I just spilled it about how stressed and exhausted I was, nervous for tomorrow, and how Sarah had snapped at me and wouldn't help me. His wife just said, "Okay, we will have to get back to that Sarah thing at another time, but go relax, and I will get your suit ready." I tried to argue because I felt really bad, but she wasn't having any of it and started to flat out ignore my protests while she got the iron set up. It just showed me again how different they are and what a supportive partner actually looks like. I got off really early today, and I have barely talked to Sarah all day. Now I am just drinking beers in my apartment alone, something I rarely do, and wondering if this relationship is even worth it anymore. I don't have a crush on my partner's wife or anything, but she seems to possess all of the qualities I feel like I want, and I am finding myself getting really jealous and annoyed. But after 6 years, I really don't want to throw everything away if this is something that we can work through. TLDR, after meeting my work partner's wife, I'm starting to see how many qualities she possesses that my girlfriend doesn't have, and I'm starting to become very jealous about what a supportive relationship could look like. 6-year relationship. Am I getting too hung up on grass is greener syndrome? Edit. I see I'm getting a lot of reoccurring questions, so instead of answering each of them, I'll leave this here. We don't live together because, prior to this new job, I didn't make as much and my apartment is very small and not meant for two people. And she is doing her master's and only works part-time for low pay and doesn't want to pitch in for rent so we can move to a bigger place. She lives at home with her parents. Even with my new job, I can't afford a bigger place all on my own yet while also paying for student loans, utilities, my car, which is a necessity where I live, etc. Also, I know 2-3x a week seeing each other is not a ton, but we spend all my days off together. We didn't see each other more than this prior, either, because my old job was still 40+ hours and I was also going to school. People think it's strange that I mentioned her being introverted as if it were a bad thing. It's not. I used to think I was happy not seeing our friends often, but my job is social in nature and I find that I enjoy being more outgoing than I used to be. This doesn't mean I go out every night. I see my friend/cousin maybe once every 1 to 2 months, or that I want to go to bars and clubs. But it does bug me that any time I suggest doing anything, she makes an excuse like she doesn't like the person, has no interest in meeting new people, doesn't feel like seeing her friends, doesn't feel like getting dressed up, she's tired, etc. I want us to do new things together. Additionally, I've been asked a lot what I've done to support her and why I expect support. Let me make it clear, first, that I have never asked her to run an errand or do anything for me before. I asked this one time because I was exhausted and stressed. I didn't expect her to drive an hour to drop it off at my partner's house. Just leave it on my bed so I could grab it on my way home. As for what I do to support her, I've helped her many times with research for papers when she was stressed over school. I've taken a week off of work when one of her relatives died and she needed to be with someone. I've taken her car to get fixed numerous times, etc., etc. I text or call her whenever I can, which is multiple times a day, and I talk to her every night when I get off. I don't even spend tons of off-duty time with my partner. The one time at the bar was literally the first time I've seen him outside of work. We have just been talking about getting together for ages. Hope this clarifies some points a bit. Update, 5 days later. Sorry it's been a little while, but I decided to update after the past week of what has been going on with me and Sarah. First, though, I wanted to add the edit that I included on my OP here, since people were asking the following questions a lot, and I'm not sure if everybody saw it. We don't live together because, prior to this new job, I didn't make as much and my apartment is very small and not meant for two people. And she is doing her master's and only works part-time for low pay and doesn't want to pitch in for rent so we can move to a bigger place. She lives at home with her parents. Even with my new job, I can't afford a bigger place all on my own yet while also paying for student loans, utilities, my car, which is a necessity where I live, etc. Also, I know 2-3x a week seeing each other is not a ton, but we spend all my days off together. We didn't see each other more than this prior, either, because my old job was still 40+ hours and I was also going to school. People think it's strange that I mentioned her being introverted as if it were a bad thing. It's not. I used to think I was happy not seeing our friends often, but my job is social in nature and I find that I enjoy being more outgoing than I used to be. This doesn't mean I go out every night. I see my friend/cousin maybe once every 1 to 2 months, or that I want to go to bars and clubs. But it does bug me that any time I suggest doing anything, she makes an excuse like she doesn't like the person, has no interest in meeting new people, doesn't feel like seeing her friends, doesn't feel like getting dressed up, she's tired, etc. I want us to do new things together. Additionally, I've been asked a lot what I've done to support her and why I expect support. Let me make it clear, first, that I have never asked her to run an errand or do anything for me before. I asked this one time because I was exhausted and stressed. I didn't expect her to drive an hour to drop it off at my partner's house. Just leave it on my bed so I could grab it on my way home. As for what I do to support her, I've helped her many times with research for papers when she was stressed over school. I've taken a week off of work when one of her relatives died and she needed to be with someone. I've taken her car to get fixed numerous times, etc., etc. I text or call her whenever I can, which is multiple times a day, and I talk to her every night when I get off. I don't even spend tons of off-duty time with my partner. The one time at the bar was literally the first time I've seen him outside of work. We have just been talking about getting together for ages. Hope this clarifies some points a bit. So now that's out of the way, I am not a spy or hitman or something crazy. A few of you tried to convince me that I am an asshole for not disclosing my job since apparently I can't be given advice without saying it. I described so many details in my last post that I hope people can just give me at least 1 ounce of anonymity. My career is known for cheating only because of the unpredictable hours. Some scumbags, apparently a lot of them on Yahoo Questions and Wedding Bee and other cesspits of advice that show up on Google, use these hours to their advantage, i.e., oh, I got caught on overtime tonight, when really they are out cheating. This is not a prevalent thing in my experience, but my girlfriend Sarah was Googling my career spouse, came across hundreds of articles, most of them benign, and latched on to the few that stated we all used our schedules for the sake of cheating and nothing else. Anyway, on to the update. I'm not delusional. A lot of you told me that the only reason I admired my work partner's wife is because she showed her best face to me in public. Of course, this is true. I don't expect anyone to be perfect. What stands out to me, however, is that there is a lot of downtime in my position and my partner and I bullshit. Every single thing that he has ever said about his wife is positive. Naturally, I would hope that would be the case for anyone, but I see something in the way he talks about her that I do not feel when I think about Sarah. He ruminates about their vacations and silly stories and stupid random nights they have together, and I realize that I don't get to enjoy any of that with her. Sarah doesn't like being out of her comfort zone. She doesn't like being spontaneous. She doesn't like being silly. I never knew that this bothered me before, but when I saw how funny and silly they acted together right in front of my face, it just confirmed that I could actually have fun in a relationship. It made me realize that I am not having fun, and that sucked. So, after I slept over at my work partner's house, Sarah wasn't talking to me except for sending me passive-aggressive texts about how she hoped that I enjoyed my romantic evening, and that she hoped he was worth it. Many of you indicated how insecure she must be that we can barely spend much time together. And suddenly it seems like I am becoming close to someone new when after 6 years we maybe weren't as close as we should be. I took this to heart, and I saw her point. So, the next time I was off, this past Sunday, I took her out to brunch, one of the few activities she likes to do, bought us some mimosas to break the ice, and tried to talk to her about the way that she's been feeling. I started the conversation saying, I know it sucks that we can't see each other as much as we wish we could right now, and believe me, I wish that could be the case. However, I feel like this is causing more tension than it used to, and I want to know what you've been feeling about all of this lately. I was hoping for an honest conversation where we could both learn from each other and move forward with new compromises, but she just unleashed. She told me that she just doesn't think I have a reason to be close to anyone but her, that my partner sounds like a itch, her words not mine, that just wants to fuck me, that his wife is probably just fed up with not getting any dick from him and is trying to move in on me, and on and on. In retrospect, I feel like she is just very insecure, and this was her way of attacking me and trying to hold me back so I could reassure her. But at the moment, I couldn't think of a way to respond. I tried to deny what she was saying, explained to her that it wasn't the case, and asked what I could do to show her, but she just kept verbally assaulting my partner and his wife, and me for even entertaining the idea of being friends with them. I stopped talking, and we ended up finishing our meal in silence, her fuming, me just feeling awkward at this point. Afterwards, we got back into my car, and I started driving towards her house. She noticed that we weren't going towards the direction of my apartment, and she started yelling at me for trying to drop her off and not wanting to spend more time with her. At this point, I had had enough. I drove to her house in silence, her berating me the entire way, and then listened to her continue to scream at me for 10 minutes after we pulled up until finally getting out, slamming the passenger door, and going inside the house. I went back to my apartment, spent about 30 minutes on the phone with my sister, 2 years younger than me, asking her WTF I should do, and then decided, probably cowardly after such a long relationship, but really not wanting to be screamed at anymore, to send her a long text message about my reasons for breaking up with her. She didn't take this well, and blew up my phone over and over until I just turned it off completely. The next day I had work, and I tried to talk to her about things back and forth over text, but she kept deferring back to her state of cursing at me and insulting me. In the end, I just told her that I could no longer be a part of her life, and blocked her. So, that was 4 days ago, and I haven't heard from her since. She deleted her Facebook, though. And honestly, I felt a lot calmer these last 4 days than I have in a long time. It makes me feel guilty at times, but also kind of excited that I can act however I want to act from now on without someone looking down at me for it. TLDR, tried to work things out, took Sarah out to brunch. We got into a fight. I broke up with her. Final comments. Made__read_penis. Change your looks. Other than that, let me reiterate the shit that I said that got buried the first time around. Hey man, you can have a relationship like your partner has, but probably not with Sarah. Sarah isn't growing as a person like you are. I've been with my wife for 17 years. We grew together. We are both extroverts compared to what you're describing, but my wife is far more introverted than I am. Even being more introverted. She is happy and welcoming to all of my friends, and has many work friends that she introduces me to regularly. She is more interested in staying home, but will always join me out with friends. I work a demanding job. Although my wife is anything but a clean freak, I will often come home to the laundry being done on the day I'm supposed to do it if things were rough. I do the same for her. If she has a problem with someone in my life, it's for a damn good reason, and I cut that person out. My youngest sister is boisterous. I mean, she's 19 and crazy. We just had dinner with her and her new boyfriend Tuesday. I've never seen my wife dislike someone for anything but a serious reason. The most important thing to me is my wife, but an extremely close second is my best friend that I've known since we were 4. My best friend is a pretty girl. How did my wife handle this? My best friend immediately became my wife's best friend, too. There was never a day of jealousy from either one. They formed their own meaningful and important friendship. Seriously, they are closer to each other than anyone else on the planet. They spend almost every moment together, with or without me. It sounds to me like you've grown and realized what you want and need in a partner. It sounds like Sarah wants and needs something else, and honestly, it sounds like Sarah isn't a grown-up yet. I don't think she's bad. I now think she's unhinged. I just think you're becoming a grown-up, and you're starting to realize that love isn't the only thing relationships need. You're starting to realize you need someone to be on the same page as you, and you need a positive person that wants to support you succeeding. Sarah sounds negative AF. Also, if I'm being honest, sounds like you've become more successful in your life with this new career, and it sounds like Sarah didn't want that. Sounds like Sarah doesn't want you to grow because she knows she can't grow herself. Therefore, she can't keep up, which is what's happening. Sounds like Sarah doesn't trust you not to cheat on her. Why be with a person who doesn't want you to be more successful? Why be with someone that doesn't trust you? It also sounds like if you want to keep your relationship with Sarah, you should stop talking about the drama, because career-wise it will negatively affect you if people know you're into dealing with relationship drama like that. Thank God you don't want to keep that relationship. Holy homophobic hell. By the way, holy shit, I was waiting for an update on this one. OOP. Oh man, I forgot about that part. I asked for her key back when she was yelling at me in the car, so I have both. Edit because you did. Thanks for that. No, I don't want to keep the relationship. I want someone like your wife who is open to new friends once in a while. I don't expect my soda like everyone, and that's fine, but they should at least meet them before they make a decision IMO. I don't think I'll have another update unless something seriously crazy happens that changes my mind, unfortunately. Right now I'm feeling a lot better than I expected I would.